Now, this is a conversation many have heard before and many others have avoided: the mental health of men. The Big Brothers Hug Foundation is on a mission to highlight the importance of men checking on their mental health and removing the stigma attached to it. It's believed this will also help fight gender-based violence. The foundation will be hosting a dialogue on this very topic, and to tell us more, I'm joined by its founder, Tshepiso James Kwakwa. Good evening to you, Tshepiso. Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsnight. A very important conversation, the issue of mental health. And you and your foundation have said that there are links between mental health and the gender-based violence pandemic that we have been observing in our country for a very long time. But let's first start with you telling us a little bit about your foundation and why it was started.
Good evening, Abigail. Oh, okay. Big Brothers Hug it's a non-profit organization which focus mostly on the issue of mental health in terms of men taking care of their mental health. And what we do is that we create like platforms and initiate dialogues where they can learn and they understand more about mental health and the fight against gender-based violence.
Tshepiso, I'm looking at your background and it looks like you are in the middle of load shedding, so I do appreciate you still joining us and making this interview happen. I want to talk about the link between mental health in men and the gender-based violence pandemic that we are witnessing as South Africans. Talk to us about, as a foundation, how you link the two.
According to our research, we were found out that we had to look at the root cause of the whole thing, which is mental health. If you look at like what is really happening is that people who are doing this type of behavior is people who are actually like faced with challenge of mental health and sort of like stress, anxiety, and all that. So what we do is that we try to actually find out that root cause, and we actually discovered that mental health has taken like a serious impact in that. The reaction is all about like how they handle their mental health and all that. As we understand, men don't usually talk. They'd rather like keep everything inside of them, and they will react in a physical way or in other ways that is not really good.
And Tshepiso, I think the point that you're making is an important one to navigate and to try and change that mindset. There is a stigma attached to men talking about mental health, men seeking out help and assistance. Why is that stigma attached to men when it comes to talking about their mental health, and how do we actively put processes in place to change this narrative?
Abigail, I remember there was a time we went to a social club where these guys were usually gather. We usually do that in our communities. We gather as guys, and then we contribute money, and then we actually do that. But what we did, we went there and tried to introduce this mental health and how the conversation that we do in Big Brother. Some of them, their comments were very, very negative. They were saying things like, it's fine, I can speak my mind, I can share with you guys my problems, my challenge is that whenever I do that, these guys, they will laugh at me. So this is the stigma that we are having in a community, that men, they're usually afraid of opening up because they think that somebody will make a joke about their problems and all that. So they'd rather like they can keep quiet about the issue that is bothering him.
So this conversation seems to be one that needs to be had between men and amongst young men and boys, because it seems as if the stigma perhaps is rooted there around laughing at each other and not having a safe space to talk about your issues and open up. And this is where your foundation also comes in, because you will be having a dialogue coming up very shortly. Talk us through what will be happening on that day and what the program will be.
The dialogue is going to be about the role of a man in the fight against gender-based violence. The virus of organization will be with us. As we know it, I'm a play your part ambassador for Brand South Africa also,
Yes.
and we have organizations like Safe for Boy Child, Moshate Initiative Forum, and Halaleta Woman Empowerment, and we also have NUMSA and the NPA amongst us. So there will be like a dialogue where we have invited all the speakers and all the professional workers to come together, and we'll have that conversation. The conversation is going to be about the role that each of us is playing in the community or in your partner's life, as we can put it, having that understanding, and then what is the result in terms of us doing this initiative, because hence we were doing this initiative, we came across other initiatives who were doing the same. We had like Safe for Boy Child, they have their own initiative where they go and visit this boy child and teach them the ways of becoming a man all that. And we also have like a young boy called Gudwan Mbele. He's also like doing this men can chill and talk. And what he does is that he go through the taverns and the pubs, and then he sit with them, and then they actually have that conversation. So what we're gonna do on the 25 this month, we're gonna bring those guys also on board, and also like have that conversation. It's not gonna be only about men, but we're gonna have also women joining us, who's gonna be on the panel also.
And Tshepiso, are you encouraging the community and people from the surrounding areas to come through and join our people, the public, able to do so?
Yeah, definitely. We need like people to come and attend such things, because honestly speaking, mental health and gender-based violence is a serious problem in communities. Then we really need to emphasize this issue so that everyone can understand. As I was explaining during the day, that in our community, especially Black communities, this thing of like taking care of your mental health is not something that is common. So when you talk to someone about that usually tells you that no, this is modern things. We don't do that. We actually, as a man also, you need to keep. You don't have to cry. You keep your problems and you don't share your problems with anyone. Then we need to break that thing apart. We need to actually put men in the position where they understand that they have to take part. They have to lead. They have to be those leaders and protectors in the community and also in the women's life.
100%, I agree with you. Those are the stigmas that we need to break, and I thank you for doing the work in the community. It must not be easy, but it's really encouraging to see a man taking this discussion further and encouraging other men to do better and to check in with their mental health as well. Tshepiso, earlier you touched on the boy child, and this is always a conversation that I bring up because it seems like there's a lot of focus on the girl child. We have various initiatives, Take a Girl Child to Work Day, and where the girl child is sort of mentored and directed and given tips and tricks on how to navigate life. The same opportunity is not often given to the boy child, and I think that needs to change as well. You are very focused on fostering a culture of respect and equality. How do we instill those sort of morals and ethics in our young boys?
First we need to understand that we need to take them back from what the Bible is really teaching us about being a leader as a man. If I can take you back from the beginning, man was given dominion to name things, to protect and to do all those things. Then those are principles that we need to instill in them. We need to firstly start there. So that they understand what are we talking about when you say must be a leader, you must do in this. Those are the basic principles that we can come up with. So it's actually more important for them to understand that they are leaders. I think in that way we can actually like hit up on that point of gender-based violence, because once a boy now understands that they are leaders, not just people who create the violence and all that, they will start now to be more respectful, towards these women and everything that is happening.
We really hope so. Tepiso, just in closing, you said that the dialogue is happening on the 25th of November. Just give us details as to where it's happening so that if people want to attend, they can do so. Also, are they needing to purchase tickets? How do they attend?
The dialogue is gonna be for free. We're gonna be hosting it in Brett's Premindia. Brett is in the northwest. It's next to RDBS Pordam. It's gonna happen around. We're gonna start around 9. So if we encourage everyone to come, we encourage like communities and all that, everyone and whoever who wants to get in touch will just contact me. Tepiso James Kwakwa. They can just go to our Facebook page and inbox us and just inquire what is really happening.
Fantastic. Tepiso, thank you for your time. Thank you for the work that you are doing in your community. We definitely need more men like you who are taking it upon themselves and taking the responsibility on themselves to change the mindsets and to fight against gender-based violence here in South Africa. As we know, this is an ongoing issue. That was Tepiso James Kwakwa. He's the founder of the Big Brothers Hug Foundation, and he is fighting against gender-based violence by having conversations around men and mental health.